Okay, last side quest. Technically, we could have started this quite a bit earlier, but I decided to leave it. Because I think they know what they were doing, giving this side quest a continuation. Lady, there are people who have been waiting literally years to get back into this.
It is very important that we get back at the Goat Father. I gotta say, a goat translator is an oddly specific thing to have lying around.
Oh, we got it. We retrieved it the last time we went to deal with these guys.
Right,
It was a whole thing.
Right, I know, but like...
The goats invented it.
The goats invented it? Oh, I must have missed that particular lore detail.
It was this whole production. But yes, it was quite a while ago, because the original game, for whatever reason, just decided to have all these quests kicking around in it that were like really obviously building up to something, and they just didn't conclude them. Maybe they always planned to do it in the DLC, or maybe they just forgot and never got round to it, but I don't think either option is really ideal here. Also, what? You're not a goat.
That feels like cheating.
Ah, I bet you guys all also forgot about the Parrot Mafia.
How could we forget about the Parrot Mafia? That was like one of the best side quests in the game.
That one had dialogue chains in it. For better or worse, they never really attempted that again. At least as far as we know. I mean, maybe that was just the only time that we found, like, very obvious dialogue plants that were prompted to us and other players talking about it, but maybe there have been other side quests all this time that we could have just spoken in? Anyway, because we could have done this quest a bit earlier, it's a little bit lower level than we're at, and, you know, we've got the whole ascended gear situation going on, but I don't feel like being hilariously overleveled is much of a detriment here. Well, we just wanted to go back to dealing with the goats again, but now we've been dragged into this parrot nonsense. All together now, just when we thought we were out, they drag us back in.
You know, we're like 2 videos away from retirement, and these motherfuckers have the audacity.
God, I know, right? Fortunately, this guy is not going to die. He's just gonna hide out in a corner while complaining a lot. We get to do all the work again. Anyway, I don't know if there's really a great deal of game design energy that went into, like, hey, what if we put the parrots and the goats in one fight? Like, maybe they've been playing the long game and they planned this, but...
Yeah, no, this reeks of, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we put the Parrot Mafia and the Goat Mafia together?
And it just happens that they both have, like, kind of on-off defense and a whole bunch of annoying ranged attacks to deal with. So whether or not it was accidental, this kind of still works as a concept. Anyway, yeah, these goats literally invented an interspecies translator, so we're just gonna start out with the assumption that the parrots getting their hands on any of this tech is probably gonna be bad news. somehow. Oh well, we should probably report this.
To say, didn't we get fired by that guy because we were a loose cannon?
We didn't so much get fired as much as we got a stern talking to, and our ability to get results was appreciated at the end of the day. Especially when he actually found work that we were suited to. Anyway, this is far from the first time that CrossCode has had quests nested in other quests. It's just that this is the first time they've really laboured it like this. Like, normally you get a quest and it's like, do this thing and that other thing and this third thing, and each of those things is just a quest. Like the Henry stuff was technically nested quests, but nobody really cared. But this is a whole thing, where we go on a quest, and then as part of doing the first quest, we get sent on other quests. More importantly, we get a whole bunch of interdepartmental cooperation with all the police factions, and we get more Bird Mafia content. Anyway, let's see if we can find this shady guy.
Now, what I want to see, assuming Radical Fish is not a coward, and I assume that they are not, is this chain needs to go throughout the whole game. I want to see violent hedgehogs. I want to see, whatever the fuck what was in the desert? The fish bones. I want to see some fish bones that have got their hand on some fucked up shit, and they are threatening the security of the solar farm.
I mean, technically, this was the content of the platform quests. It was all stuff like that. It's like there's a bunch of animals got their hands on some tech from some something mad science and are running amok, and some random guys have showed up and got mixed up with them. So,
Okay, but those quests don't include the Bird Mafia.
Those quests do not include the Bird Mafia. They I guess did include like a bird faction, but only textually. They are canonically, in fact, what led to the Bird Mafia in the first place, but then all the scientists went to work building scorpions instead. Anyway, this guy is literally called Suspicious Trader. And we are 2 fruit sets short of a gold surprise egg. Whoops. Anyway, fruit sets are very cheap, so I bought a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, sick. We're gonna get a Magikarp? Hell yeah.
I like that the bird can't walk diagonally. Anyway, not only can he not run diagonally, he's also just not very good at retreating, generally. I don't understand this guy. Anyway, we follow him for a bit. NPC friends still have super jumps, when they need to. And there's finally something up here. Welcome to the legitimate Nest bar. Good old cafe totally not a front. Now, me personally, I'm the guy who just calmly jumped up and walked over a table to get the hell out of there. I feel a kinship with that man. The actual action here isn't still very notable because these guys are basically, they're just the Papagons from before, but with a different texture. And slightly higher stats. But fundamentally not really very new.
You know what? Same, girl. Same.
You pay those bills. Anyway, welcome to the club.
I see we have a couple interesting additions to the dance floor.
I'll say. Personally, I think it's a little disappointing that they didn't more thoroughly animate the floor, but we got some fancy lighting stuff. Don't worry about these guys having levels. That's just for flavor. I don't know if these usernames are scripted. Somebody else will have to tell me. Anyway, of course we get a club mix battle. What were you expecting? Unfortunately, this short loop isn't on the soundtrack, so when I link it in the thread, I'm going to have to rip it directly from the game. Sorry. I guess it's probably not in the soundtrack because it's not very long, but like, this is... I feel like if you're going to compose this kind of thing for a set-piece encounter, you should go all out.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing.
More generally, I guess this is probably as good an opportunity we're going to get to mention that the original composer for the CrossCode soundtrack, Intero, was unavailable when it came to doing the music for the DLC. I glitched into a wall here. It took a bit to get out. Anyway, he was unavailable, so they got in a new guy whose name I forget because it's in Japanese characters and I don't know what they are and I've never found a canonical pronunciation, but he did the 3 new tracks in the DLC soundtrack, which were the Asia Archipelago theme, the Calero Temple theme, and the theme of the final boss. Possibly also did this little loop. I have no idea, and I don't know how to find out. In any case, I think a pretty good job was done. There's not very much new music in the DLC, but the stuff we got is pretty good. Anyway, inevitably we get to dance with Papa Boss the Younger for a bit. It's not really apparent what his gimmick here is, but he is doing it. We just kind of can't see it because there's way too much shit going on the floor. But I assure you, if we could see it, I mean, you saw that looked interesting, right? There were triple exclamation points on it and everything.
What, he's got some minds of his own, it looks like?
And he takes the window out. Everyone's cleared out except for these two. You might be forgiven for not noticing that you can talk to the human here.
I mean, look, I ain't gonna judge if you want to go dance with the cow.
Goat.
Or, I'm sorry, this is a goat. I'm sorry.
But yes.
But you know what? Hey, you do you.
It's all good. Don't think I didn't appreciate the goat bye in that caption. Oh well. For real this time. So Papa Boss the Younger, like the other Papa Guns, has a Gatling gun, but he also has missiles. Kind of like the criminal turrets that we fought using the NPC ship. We can shoot them down. I think it might be possible to make his missiles hit him, but I'm not really sure, I've never done it, and there's like... This fight is over pretty quickly because I think I mentioned the levels. There's a lot of numbers going on, a lot of things are blowing up, you're going to be using fire a lot, who can even tell what's going on really? Point is, he fires a lot of projectiles at you, and those missiles will harass you for a long time if you don't deal with them. Also, when he fires a bunch of them at a time, he gets tired. And that's when you can get a break-in on him. And, well, that's pretty much the end of that. Well, that was fun. I guess we blew up a nightclub. And we didn't even catch the guys.
Yeah, about that, Sergeant.
Oh look, it's like he says. We didn't attract any bad press, so there's no failure. Crime numbers are once again down. And more importantly, our mission has been offloaded to Rhombus Square. This building has been here this whole time on the map. There's been this door that is just... It's there on the map and it's always locked, and it's probably been bugging people for ages if they notice it. But we're finally going to deal with it. Also, we're finally going to very, very, very flyby acknowledge the whole thing where, like, what I guess is supposed to be representatives of government are just turning to these random people from off-planet to help them with important work for reasons. But the important thing is, it's the law. Like, the legal law, not the writing law. All fully legally squared away. Now get in there and do violence on those goats.
Cannot believe we are not even going to attempt to do some negotiation. Just jumping straight to violence. What is this world coming to?
I mean, I don't know, she's trying. Unfortunately, so are they. These, once again, aren't new enemies. Goat workers are the same goats that we fought in the cave last time, but their numbers are all really high, and possibly they've gotten a little bit better at throwing these bombs at us.
I say, I cannot believe that we are just walking in here and disrupting these guys' office life.
Right?
You know, I'm starting to feel sympathy for the goats. You know, they're just trying to get a paycheck too.
Right. There's whole shades of grey at work here. Also, maybe slightly more importantly, since there isn't a gigantic hole in the middle of this arena, the bombs are actually just really a lot more of a threat than before. So watch out for them. Once you actually get the goat numbers down a bit, this obviously becomes less of a concern. But even with our numerical advantages, this can still get you.
Oh, the rules of nature. We are very familiar with those.
I know, right? Well,
I'm sorry, what is this soundtrack?
This is the big, slightly sad final fight that is going to decide the fate of human and goat kind. This is what the people wanted. And so it's come to this. Also, this is... I don't want to say that this is difficult, because these attacks are not complicated. It's just that he hits real hard, and he can do bullet hell. And if you, like you see that was half our health, just getting hit by that. And that was about a third of the remainder getting hit by the follow-up. It's not that these attacks are complicated, it's just that they hit really fucking hard, and then right when you're used to it, he starts breaking this out. This probably would have been a really good time to have that shuriken shooter thing that we got from Sao, because you can absolutely do a lot of range damage to him while he's throwing bullet hell at you. It's just that, you know, you're busy. Anyway, he gets thrown after doing big attacks, and obviously that's when you do your big counters. It's a fairly difficult-ish, very punchy fight, but it's not the optional super boss, so it doesn't take that long, and he goes down in a reasonable amount of hits.
Yeah, this guy looks like a glass cannon, just based off the numbers.
And I don't know if this is, like, particularly more nightmarish if you're not at, like, literally endgame level. Like, the recommended level for this quest is, like, the mid-60s, and we're, like, level 70-something at this point, so... It works out, I think. And also, like, for... I've lost count of how many times I've mentioned this, but we are running a focus build, and that just makes everything more spicy, and by the way, if you get behind him when he's doing this, it just completely diffuses it. Ah well. They run when the sun comes up, with their lives on the line. Or do they? Oh shit, here at the 11th hour. Who's that stepping into the ring? That's right, it's landlords. Here to save the day.
I cannot believe we are about to lease out a part of this city to the goat conglomerate.
I think you're getting angry at the wrong half of this equation. But maybe that's just me.
Look, not in my backyard, okay? I don't want these goats here any more than you do.
But think of the market opportunities. That's what's important here, right? A whole motivated, presumably somehow wealthy, entirely new customer base. Let's just not question their connections, or the provenance of all their wealth.
That is a good question. How did the goat conglomerate acquire all of this wealth? It doesn't seem like they would be great at the whole commerce thing, considering they only, fairly recently developed the whole goat translator?
I don't know. The important part is, everybody really wanted to see more of this, and now we've got... Again, I remind you, the actual mafia, and the police, and the landlords, all happy, and working together. But who cares, we got a new shop out of it. There's not really much of interest here, except these two items, which give us Brawler and Shooter. They are the only items in the game that give you these buffs.
I gotta say, I feel like any solution that involves the cops, the mafia, and the landlords all being happy is probably not a long-term optimal one.
Right. But we wanted this. We wanted more Goat Mafia content. Are you happy? Are you all happy?
I'm extremely happy.